Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're back out here in my garage. And yes, I am back from vacation, and the very first day, we're back in the saddle making gun content because I got to get stuff filmed at the range so I can produce videos throughout the week. And after I got home, unpacked the car, got everyone settled, evening rolled around, and I was like, it's time to get back to the range. And I took two guns to the range today. And I also want to talk to you about that slide that I reviewed or tried to review a few weeks ago. I told you about. I heard back from the company and I have a different one for that Glock 19 Gen 4. But we'll save that one for the end. So let's talk about the two guns I took to the range. Oh, by the way, here's the caveat. I know some people are going to find this video or see my first impressions for the first time. This is not a review. I literally just rolled in from the garage, having filmed content with my nicer camera for the range reports. And this is just on my second channel where I casually talk about what I experienced and what I discovered. So please don't tell me this is the worst review I've ever seen. It's not a review. It's just me talking about guns. Because I haven't even looked at the range footage. I haven't decided what I'm going to say, what rating I'm going to give it. None of that, okay? So let's talk about the first one. First off, we have a Springfield Armory, and this is the Ultra Compact Caliber 45, is what it says on the slide here. So let me go ahead and give you some close-ups of that. It's a stainless steel subcompact, 1911, chambered in 45, 3.5-inch barrel, which when it comes to the subcompacts is my favorite barrel length. This pistol is on loan to the channel from my friend David. And how did it shoot? Well, it shot okay. Now, you guys know I love 1911s. And personally, when it comes to 1911s in 45 ACP, nothing beats the full-size government size, 5-inch barrel, the way John Moses Browning intended. It's a well-balanced gun. It's just a pleasure to shoot. And the history of the subcompacts, or some people call these the officers, or officer size, is kind of interesting. The Rock Island Arsenal, when they were still not Rock Island Armory, this was the Arsenal, and I want to say it was in Illinois? I think it's Rock Island, Illinois. But anyway, when they were still a U.S. government military installation, they were looking for officers or general officer pistols, and they had for a long time have been carrying, I think it was the Colt 1908, and they wanted something that would more reflect at that time the standard issue sidearm of the U.S. military. And so the armorers there figured out a way of kind of cutting down a 1911 and keeping it chambered in 45. It holds one last round, 3.5-inch barrel. They shortened the recoil mechanism, and it works. However, I know I'm going to offend some people when I say this, it's just not my favorite. It's a cool idea. It looks really cool, like it's a baby 1911, but they're not as fun to shoot. Actually, I will say, this one overall was accurate. It was fine. I had no issues. The only issues I really had was with this extended magazine that David let me borrow. This is the one he linked with the gun, but I also have a bunch of Colt magazines. Those ran great, and this one, at the end, I was having some rounds nosedive. It didn't matter if it was hollow points or ball ammunition, but that's the way these single-stack 45 1911 magazines are. These extended ones, they're just not reliable. But with the officer size and the government size ones, ran fine. The gun has decent accuracy for a concealed carry pistol. It's not a tack driver. The trigger is so-so, but I will say I am a little bit spoiled by so many of the modern 1911s and 2011s that I shoot. But overall, it was okay. Recoil is not bad. It feels very comfortable in your hand, but I do have to say it's a little bit, because of the balance of the gun, you do get a lot of muzzle flip. 45, 3.5-inch barrel. It's just not optimal. Now, this is a gun for somebody that can only carry a 1911. If that's all you like, it's a great gun for that. The Colt officer sizes are good. I really don't like the ones that have the 3-inch barrel, which is pretty much what many companies make today, like Kimber and Colt. I think it's mainly Colt. Maybe Kimber still makes a 3.5-inch. But it ran fine. Overall, it's going to get a decent rating. It does what it's supposed to do. I like the fact it's stainless steel. Trigger could be improved a little bit, but overall, it works. For me, it's nothing really to write home about. But if you are a 1911 fan and you like Springfield Armory, I would recommend it. It's not bad. It's going to serve you just fine. Of course, today I like the things with more higher capacity, so that's why I kind of prefer 9mm over 45 now. But yeah, if you want 45, want less capacity, but love 1911s, it's going to work just fine for you. So overall, gets a pretty good rating, but it wasn't like a wow experience. All right, next pistol. And I'm going to have a little bit of a gripe with the owner of this pistol, D, because he made a mistake again. Okay? And you guys know he has an amazing collection, an absolutely amazing collection of guns. And there have been a few times in the past he has forgotten to lock tight down his optics. And guess what? Today is one of those days. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there's one screw left. Maybe that one is locked down. The other one fell out. And when I use the little charging handle on the optics plate, it moves. Okay, so what did I discover with this guy? This gun is definitely a race gun. Now, I will say, for the optic not being on there securely, the gun was still damn accurate. And I didn't even realize it was wobbly until really I got it home, and when I was putting it into the range bag, I started to notice it. And when I got it home, I investigated it and found this. So I will say, when I started the range report, the gun was a tack driver. I mean, it really was. Towards the end, when I was doing the faster shooting, it was okay. And I think that it was starting to come loose when I did my 25-yard test. So the group opened up a little bit, but overall it was like this. It's not like, oh my gosh, there's like any warning signs. But if the gun was that accurate with a wobbly optic, it's a really inaccurate gun. So I'm going to have to be very judicious in how I talk about it, especially in the accuracy department, because I don't want this wobbliness to really affect my thoughts. I can tell you the gun is super accurate, but it's a race gun. It does not have a last round bolt hold open. And I will tell you, I can't tell you what this gun is. This is the Honcho X Kovert by Phoenix Trinity. Okay, so this is another kind of like top-end, top-tier 2011. It is definitely a race gun. Super-duper light trigger, aggressive grip texture. I really like the way it feels in my hand, but it's probably not the one for me. I still love the staccatos. The fact it doesn't lock open on the last round, I went into the review knowing that. I'm not a competitive shooter, so it's kind of weird. When I did the magazine change test, I tried to do it as though I was a competitor. And what I mean by that is I didn't let the magazine run empty. So, which is the way these guns are supposed to be run. So, boom, 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 boom. I drop the mag, put the next mag in, and I'm telling you, all of my muscle memory is to reach up here and charge the weapon. And I can't do that. I actually tried it one time as a practice, and I did it. It was so instinctual for me to do it. It's just like boom, and I racked it. I was like, why did I do that? Because I ejected the live round that was in the chamber. But if you're just an average gun guy, this might not be the 2011 for you. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do it justice, but I can tell the gun is accurate. I can tell the gun is fast. Is it the 2011 for me? No, just because I'm looking for a range gun, a self-defense gun, and a gun that I can use it as a range toy and shoot fast. And this gun, this pistol, the Honcho, the Honcho X Kovert, checks a few of those boxes. But overall, it's definitely designed for somebody that just does competition. And that's just not me, but I can appreciate it. So I think the gun's going to get very high marks. I just got to let D know that, hey, you forgot to Loctite that thing down. And some people are going to ask, well, don't you check? Yes, I did. Well, I'm not going to take off an optic if it's already mounted. But before I went to the range, I did take a tool and I made sure that all the screws were tight. But no Loctite came off. So sorry, D. You did it again to me. You gotta double check that. But overall, the gun ran good. It was an okay experience. Once again, both these guns did what they're supposed to do, and they probably do them really well. They're just not the ones for me, but they are going to get good scores overall. All right, and man, is my garage getting hot. I didn't realize how hot it was going to be out here tonight. Man, all right, so let's talk about the slide. You guys remember I talked about some issues I had with the Dira Island kit for the Glock 19 Gen 4. And I'm in the process of reviewing this. And when I first got this in, I think I showed you guys how it worked on my wife's Glock 19 Gen 4. She has a Gen 4. So I don't have a Gen 4. I have a Gen 3 and a Gen 5. But after I had the issues with the ejection and mounting the optic, I contacted the company and they said, send it back, we're going to take a look at it. And it turns out they had some issues with some other ones. They had other reviewers not have issues, but the company was very transparent, said what they're doing. They said they had to replace the springs in both the recoil spring, and they had to replace the extractor spring. I guess it was kind of a known issue when they were testing them, because these are, I believe, are made in Turkey. They also supposedly fixed the RMR cut, where all of the optics I was mounting to these were way too tight, especially in the front. They just weren't cut right. And the company said, listen, we want you to be honest with all of your viewers. We want you to show what happened with the first slide, and we're going to send you another one. So they took my other one in, sent me a new one. They said this one has all the upgraded parts, all the new stuff, and we want you to show how this one works. And I'm going to do that because the company was open, transparent, and honest, and they want people to know that if you have a problem with one of their products, they're going to take care of it. So that's awesome. So the company has been real nice, and so we're going to definitely try this back out on my wife's Glock 19. So let's go ahead and make sure it fits. I haven't even tried it. I literally just got this a couple days ago. And hopefully we'll go on here. Yep, there it goes. And that's it. So hopefully we're going to go back to the range, and there's the island barrel on that bad boy. And so hopefully this one's going to run. They say it will. So I'll have to do kind of, I guess, finish the review on this one. So there you go. That's everything I have on the workbench tonight. So let me know your thoughts. And if you have any questions about any of the guns that I shot or talked about tonight, or anything you want to add to the discussion. So the Texas Gun Vault is back in business, back from vacation. And I guess that's all I got for you tonight. So if you watch to the end of this video, the word of the day. The word of the day is okay. Okay is the word of the day. Either okay, or you can spell it out. Was it O-K-A-Y? Both will count. So there you go. Use that in the comment section, and I know that you're a true vault dweller. And I'm hot, I'm sweating, so I'm going to go inside, upload this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. So thank you for joining me here in the garage. And as always, thanks for watching.